Hello from the Yarn Closet in Southern Arizona. I'm Laura. So let's do some updates. It might as well be summer, like 92 degrees and hot and gross. Oh, love it. Not. Okay. I'm in the decreases on this hat, and these are both superwash sock yarns, so it should block quite nicely and be a bit snug. So it's definitely for like a teen, small woman, because I'm still doing hats for my mom's church. And I did wash block this big blanket. Remember the green one that I couldn't? So I put the middle section together, and then I did a bunch of rows, and then I put another section, took me a minute, around the outside, and then a little bit of a border, just a tiny one. I just decided that was enough. I was done with it. And honestly, this is wide enough for one person, couch size, so I'm pretty excited. I like it. And I might just keep these last two blankets for my own personal use. And here's an update on the sweater. Because I am cutting up the mandala skeins, you know, the skeins have all these color changes, and I'm cutting them up and I'm only using certain colors. I stopped right here. I may pick that up again after I do the arms. I'm just not sure I'm gonna have enough yellow to do sleeves all the way down. And I'm gonna do a bracelet sleeve. I usually stop short for a bracelet sleeve. I did some decreases here, and I'm gonna keep it at this length and then cut it off for a bracelet sleeve. I do mine shorter than most people do, I think. I have found that starting really tight up here absolutely made a difference. Now, if I were to do a button band, this would be perfect. But because I'm not doing a button band and this is gonna curl in like it is, what I've realized is it needed to have more stitches. Starting here in this section, needed more stitches because it's not gonna quite come together easily on my body the way I want it to. Even after washing and blocking, I'm not sure that it's gonna lay quite the way I want it to. But I think I will have enough left over to use these colors to make another sweater and try it again. And I'm gonna just keep at it until I get the thing that works, that I love, because I've had enough of this. I love doing it, but I'm having to make a lot of accommodation for my shoulder, my vision, and I want to love the things I make. I'm not making socks anymore because I rarely ever love them. And if I do, with the sand that's all over everywhere here, even in your shoes, they wear holes so fast that it's almost pointless. I believe these were a Temu buy. They don't fit on these needles, but they do fit on these bigger ones. And they're okay, but you really have to like jam it in there. Otherwise, it's not super tight. So just be mindful of that when you get stuff like this. But they're adorable. I love them. Why do I have a plastic fork in my knitting bag? Because why do we have anything in our knitting bag? Today, my daughter and I got to go with one of her teachers thrifting into Tucson and Vail. That was very fun. And the exciting news is we close on a new house the end of the month. We've loved living in the country, but the animal thing did not pan out the way we were expecting, and my daughter and I want to be involved, and we just can't be involved if we can't get to the places. So we're going to live just blocks away from a bunch of friends I now have, since I've spent the last 2.5 years at school. And I'm so excited to be able to walk to the community center, or get a little electric tricycle for during the heat. I don't want to walk in the heat. I'll do that. And go to a crochet group there. They have a crochet group for the different causes they pick. I'm going to take my 18-year-old to bingo, because they have a Monday afternoon bingo you can go to, and he'll be able to do that with me. He might be able to volunteer at the History Museum. So we're very excited about that. Very excited. So that's been what's been behind the scenes the last few weeks. I did go to my dad's primary care on Friday. His surgery on his hand was not as bad as we expected. His surgery on his mouth was worse. But this dermatology office that we went to was so much better than the last one. It seems like at the last one, the last 4 or 5 surgeries, they all seemed to get infected. These were perfect. They were just beautiful. So we got those stitches out. He's feeling pretty good, but his O2 saturation is down to 88. And I mean, he has COPD. We've known this for years. That's never really been something that registered for him, but he was a lifelong smoker until his early 70s. And there's repercussions for that. Kidney cancer, COPD, CHF can be a part of that. So that was a real bummer. And we tried to talk to him about oxygen and how that would help. And we'll just see where we go from there. Here, the new house is conducive to him still being able to move in with us and live with us comfortably. So that's what we got. Yes, we've moved a lot. We really didn't want to move out of Tucson, but we had a pandemic, and it affected some of the members of my family really hard. And when you're dealing with people who have suicidal ideation and stress, you make hard calls. And one of the most lovely things about my husband is that right now he recognizes, as much as he wants to stay here where he grew up, the kids that we're still raising are going to benefit more being in town. And why else are we on this planet? Not for the stuff we own, but for the relationships. And so let's make those relationships the best we can. That's looking with your heart first, not your eyes. And that's the reason I really love him. We will see you next week, and maybe I'll have a sweater done, maybe I won't, because we have a book fair this week and Dr. Seuss week, so that's a lot. Talk to you soon.